Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here an explanation about exercise 11 in your book. The question is to calculate the areas of the shapes below. But before we start, I just want to look at all the dimensions because there are some mistakes in your book. I'm very sorry, but before we start, maybe we can change those dimensions. Now, first of all, if we look at A, we just missed one there because it needs to be 2 centimeters. Otherwise, you can't solve the area. Yeah, you can't find it. If we look at shape B, as a mistake, one is that you miss a dimension because this one needs to be 2. And the other one is that there's a mistake because this is not 2 centimeters, but it needs to be 5 centimeters. Yeah, and then you can calculate all the areas from A, B, and from C as well. But maybe you need to find the dimensions before you can calculate the different pieces of the areas. Now, if we talk about pieces, let me start with A, because we need to cut the whole shape in pieces that we can calculate the area. Let me just do it like this. Then this is piece number 1. This is piece number 2. And the last one is piece number 3. Alright, so the first one, piece number 1, it is 13 by 2. So to calculate that area is 13 by 2 is 26 square centimeter. Piece number 2, we already know that this part is 4, but the question is, how long is the width of my rectangle? Now, if we know that the whole part from here to there was 13, but minus 2, then this one needs to be 11. So 11 by 4 is the area of part 2, 44 square centimeters. And then the last part, we already know that this part was 11 with the 5 is together 16, and 16 times 3 is the area of part 3, so 48 square centimeters. So in total, we're gonna add those 3 different parts. In total, you get 118 square centimeters. You can't solve it if you have no idea what the length is from that part. So that's what you missed in exercise A. Let me look at exercise B. We're gonna do it exactly the same. We're gonna make 3 pieces of the shape. That's 1. That's 2. And the last part is 3. Alright, so let me just calculate part number 1. That part. It is 2 by 10. So 2 times 10, length times the width, is 20 square centimeters. Okay, so next one, I'm gonna do part 3 before I do part 2, because that's the easiest one. This is 9 and that's 7. So 9 times 7 is 63 square centimeters. And then the last part. We already know that this one was 5 because there was a mistake in our book. But the question is, how long is this one? The length of my rectangle. Because we know that in total here on the upper right line that was 7 centimeters, and we know already one piece there 2 centimeters, then the rest of it is 5. So it is just a square. 5 times 5 is 25 square centimeters. Now we're gonna add those 3 parts, and then you get 108 square centimeters. So that's the solution of shape B. Shape C, what you can do is to solve the whole rectangle. So from here to there with 14, and this is 11. Yeah, so that's 14 times 11, and that's 154 square centimeters. But then we just had calculated two areas too much. Which one? This one in the middle. So the 6 times 2, that's 12 square centimeters. And below this part, we have no idea what the dimensions are, but because we know that this is 10 and at the top you find it is 14, then this needs to be 4. And if you look at the left and the right side, this part is 11. We already have 10, so it needs to be 1. So we're gonna subtract 4 times 1 is 4 square centimeters. Now if you subtract 154 minus 12 and minus 4, then you get 138 square centimeters. Alright, so please find the way how to calculate the area, because in exercise A and B I just cut it in pieces, and in exercise C I'm gonna calculate much more area that we need, but then subtract the two rectangles to find the total area of the shape from the blue part. So that was exercise 11, and good luck with the rest of the exercises.